Good evening everybody and welcome to Seaford Town Council's Planning and Highways meeting this evening. I'd like to thank all members of the public, councillors and officers who are joining us for today's meeting. Councillors and officers are reminded of their commitment to the Civility and Respect Pledge and to be mindful of this during tonight's meeting. Please be aware that the Council is video recording this meeting and it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. I'd just like to highlight some key points of the meeting format. Please can I ask everyone to have their phones turned off or set to silent. The fire exits are via the doors out of the chambers and down the external fire escape stairs or via the main entrance that you entered the building through. In the event of a fire, the lift should not be used. The assembly point is to outside the Royal Mail Parcel Office on West Street. Please can I ask you to remain seated unless you are invited to speak or you need to take a comfort break. The toilet facilities are out in the corridor you entered through. Members of the public are invited to participate in the meeting with the key points as follows. Public participation is limited to a maximum of 4 minutes per person and must be relating to an item of business on the agenda. As Chair, I will interject if needed to enforce this. For those looking to speak specifically about a planning or tree works application on the agenda, you will be invited to speak immediately before the committee considers that application. For those looking to speak on other agenda items, you will be invited to speak during the public participation agenda item. Please raise your hand to show you wish to speak and I will invite you to speak. If you are comfortable standing, please do so to ensure you can be heard across the room. You do not need to state your name when you start speaking if you do not wish to, but we ask that you clearly state which agenda item you are speaking about. I would ask that participants looking to leave the meeting wait until the end of an agenda item to limit distraction for other participants. Members of the public looking to leave the building will be escorted out by a council officer. To all present, please remember to show respect to others in the meeting and avoid interrupting where possible to enable others to follow the meeting. If any councillor feels concerned about any aspect of the meeting or discussion, please clearly state point of order and I will then gesture for you to elaborate. If anyone present is felt to be behaving unacceptably, they can be ejected from the meeting by resolution. Thank you for listening. On behalf of the Council, I would like to thank everyone for attending this Town Council meeting. So item 1 on the agenda, apologies for absence.
Yep, we've got apologies from Councillor Walraven and Councillor Taylor as substitute.
Thank you, Councillor Taylor, for substituting. Agenda item 2, disclosure of interest. To deal with any disclosure by members of any disclosable pecuniary interest and interests other than pecuniary interests as defined under the Seaford Town Council Code of Conduct and the Localism Act 2011 in relation to matters on the agenda. Councillor Olivia Honeyman.
Yes, I do know the lady who owns Florence House. I know it's because she goes to one of my groups I go to, but she's a colleague rather, she's not a close friend or anything, so it's just to make you aware that I do know her in a personal capacity, but not as a close friend, but I know her as somebody.
So a lot of us do live being in Seaford.
I know, but I just thought I need to make sure I declare that I do know her.
No, thank you. Councillor Richardson.
Likewise, I know the lady concerned. Obviously, she works in she doesn't work in the community, but I don't really know a person in that sense, so it's nothing, not like that, if you see what I mean. A lot of us know people in the community, but it's not really going to, it wouldn't stop me from taking part or voting on the situation. It wouldn't, you know, it's not like that at all, precious.
No, thank you. Anyone else? No, thank you. Move on to item 3, public participation. To deal with any questions or brief representations from members of the public in accordance with relevant legislation and Seaford Town Council policy. In accordance with Town Council policy, members of the public wishing to speak on individual planning applications may do so immediately before each planning application. Does anyone wish to speak at this moment in time? No? Okay. So we move on to agenda item 4, planning applications. Planning applications received in week commencing Monday the 3rd of November. LW/25/0649 7 Hartfield Road. Replacement of existing conservatory with a single-storey rear extension. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this? I'll open this up to the committee. Councillor Lord.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a nice ground floor extension. It fits well. You can't see it from the road. It's a brand new property. It's nice. It's well designed. Lights in the area. I've really not got any problems with it, to be perfectly honest with you.
So, find any other comments?
No? As Councillor Law said, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I'll propose we take this forward, Chair. Be on that.
Okay, then you will second that.
Yeah.
So we have a proposal and a second to
Not object.
not object to, that's the one, I've got to try to think of the wording, not object to this application. Can I have a show of hands in support of that? That's unanimous, thank you. Planning applications received in week commencing Monday the 10th of November. LW/25/0666 89 Sutton Drove. Addition of 1 front and 1 rear dormer for K. Richards. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this? No. Open this up to the committee. Councillor Olivia Hanneman.
Thank you, Chair. I looked at this, obviously, oh no, there's a front dormer, and there's a back one not to worry about, front one needs to worry about, but it's actually really quite small. So I was happy to suggest this, and I also looked at the neighbourhood plan, as long as everything's in keeping. So I was happy for this to be done.
Any other comments? Councillor Richards Hanneman.
The properties in that area are reasonably sized proportion anyway, so even yes, there is, as you say, there is there is a front dormer which is not ideal, but it's at a smaller smaller proportion compared to the rear, so I'd support it as well.
When I looked at this was the only property in that block that didn't have a front dormer, and all the others did, so I'm quite happy to support it. So you recommending to not object or to support?
To support this.
To support this.
Yeah.
Does that find a seconder?
Well, there's a difference between support and not object, isn't there? So why are we doing support as well as not object?
But it's in keeping
What we're trying
with
to,
the area.
okay, right, well, yeah, okay. But, I mean, it almost amounts to the same thing, doesn't it?
So it's in keeping with the
Neighbourhood as well as what
the
we're trying to
neighbourhood,
do
because
there.
it's the only one without. So
Yeah. So we use the word support, but I'll support and I'm happy to support.
Yeah.
So all those in favour of supporting this application? Thank you very much. Planning applications received in week commencing Monday the 17th of November. LW/25/0638. Land to the south of Florence House, Southdown Road. Erection of 7 dwellings, including accesses, landscaping and other associated infrastructure. Any members of the public? No. Open this up to the committee. Councillor Richard Honeyman.
Couple of things, obviously the neighbour plan for 2019 published in 2020 does talk about the 7 properties in that respect. But what worried me when you go on the site, I couldn't find the 6 bungalows, which did get planning permission going back about 8 years ago. So you know, at planning event there was we did actually support or not object to 6 bungalows in the same area. I don't know where it's gone. I tried to look everywhere for it. So it was fully passed, but they didn't actually proceed with that particular
Which that would have failed by now, yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because I think the 7 properties became in, and then obviously the 60 flats after that. So obviously we've reverted back to the sort of the 7 properties, which is well proportioned and probably more in keeping in that area compared to the 60-bedroom care home, which was planned the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Councillor Lord.
Thank you, Chair. I think they're nice, well-proportioned buildings that are in keeping in the area, because they're all basically detached properties. And they've not tried to squeeze more properties in than what they could have done had they had other developments around the town where they go for detached and then they've got changed about 20 flats or something like that. So I've not got a problem with this development, and I'm quite prepared to propose where to accept it.
Any other comments? Councillor Buchanan.
Thank you, Chair. I too would support this, and in that sense we ought to be thinking about the Swifts for this one. I think, if we have a form of words for that. Just got one other observation as well. I don't know why these architects do this, but they're building garages that's still just too small, even though there's a modern building. What?
Yeah, I know the answer, Rob. It's not part of planning meeting.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure in the future that garage will be converted into accommodation. So that's fine. Yeah. I'm just saying.
You're absolutely right.
I would support it.
Any other comments?
Could I just check through your chair on the Swifts? Are we looking at putting in about Swift boxes or Swift bricks or both?
You could start with Swift bricks because it's a new build, and there's a lot of north kind of facing spaces on this, so I think that would work. You know, failing the bricks, then the boxes should come in the second kind of option. I think that's also in the local plan now. There's whole phrases, although it's not current, there are phrases related to Swifts.
They're wanting to bring that in the next
Yes,
in the new one, isn't it?
So we'll be ahead of the game.
Good.
Any other comments? So we have a proposal to support this application. Did you find a seconder?
Yeah, you do.
I'll second.
You do it.
And if there's no further comments, all those in favour of supporting this application? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. LW/25/0672 10 Cornfield Road. Raising of existing side boundary brick wall with wooden fencing to 2 metres and erection of 1 metre sleeper wall to front side boundaries. Any members of the public? No? Open it up to the committee. Councillor Buchanan.
Thank you, Councillor Buchanan.
I don't have any real comments on this other than I think there are some building control issues related to the heights of fences in relation to the curbs and things like that. But as a principle, I wouldn't object to this.
So when I looked at it, is the back side wall is already at that height. The steps down of the wall, they're literally wanting to increase that to that 2 metre height there
For a bit.
with new fencing, and then it's just 1 metre sleeper wall which is up and down just to give the area some more character. So it's literally a tiny piece midway, which is obviously they require building consent for because of the height being near a highway, but I can't see any issues with it. It will give them that little bit more privacy at the side of their property. Yeah, so I've no objection to this.
Whether I was the one who proposed it or I will second it, which one never one it is.
That's fine. Do we have any other comments on this? No, so...
To the chair, I mean, it will start making it look a bit like a prison, but I mean, apart from that, I definitely can object to it, but the whole site has got 2 metres space all the way around. So that's, and that is quite a big site because it's on the corner, isn't it? But it's more of a comment than a...
A lot of that's already there.
I know.
It's literally that those two wooden panelling, they want to put,
To make a bit more privacy.
yeah.
I mean, we can't kind of insist they got their mailbox outside or within the fence, because sometimes if you are delivering anything, you don't like. Not everyone likes going in big high gates. So it's not really a plan.
It's only the side of the house.
Well, yeah, but that's I don't know where the post box would be. So I mean, sometimes you don't always want to go in a property if you feel a bit secluded. That's the only,
That looks like the front.
you know.
Don't we?
But it's only by that's not planning anyway.
No.
About where letterbox is.
I will support this application. All right, Councillor. You want to support it, and I'll second you. What do you want to do?
I'll propose it.
And I'll second it.
Yeah.
So we have a proposal and a seconder to not object to this application.
Yeah.
All those in favour? Thank you very much.
It costs a small fortune now as well, isn't it?
We move on to tree work applications. So we have TW/25/0101/TPO 1 Chapel Close, T5 Beach. And I'm not going to read all of it out.
No. It's a 25% reduction, but it'll look better for it. It looks unkempt. It looks too large. It needs quite a bit of work doing on it. I wouldn't be surprised if we visit this one in the next couple of years. But I would support this application. Definitely does need doing.
Any other comments? Councillor Olivia Honeyman.
Yeah, I can second that, having seen the pictures.
Yeah.
This needs, I'm surprised it hasn't been done before,
Yeah.
and why it hasn't been kept pruned. Don't know, but obviously they're now putting the application in now, so that's good, because that obviously is big.
Yeah. Massive. Can we say through the show, the applicant was asked to do a photograph of the spots rather than looking at a silly little map. So I've actually got a photograph.
With a little circle.
Yeah, it might be that one, it might be that one. This is actually perfectly correct, thank you.
Thank you. So we have a proposer and a seconder to not object to this. We'll just support
it.
To support it.
Yeah.
Saying it needed to be done, so
Yeah.
to support.
To support this application, and all those in favour? Thank you very much. TW/25/0114/TPO 7 Rodine Close. Go on, Councillor Lord.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Yeah, it's 8 sycamores. It's quite a big, quite a few trees in quite a confined area. They need to be pollarded, need to be cut back. If we don't this, then we're in danger of getting one another's nerves and taking light off other areas of ground around them. I think so 2 metres is about 6 foot. It seems a lot, but in actual fact they're quite large trees and they can take it. And I will support this application.
Any other comments?
They're quite large and straight, if you notice here.
Does that find a seconder? Councillor Olivia Honeyman.
Yeah, I second it. The only thing I would do on this comment night is to remind people not to plant sycamores that close together.
When this big, they're all right.
Yeah.
20 years later, you know.
So we have a proposer and a seconder to support this application. All those in favour? Thank you very much. It's unanimous. TW/25/0116/TCA 10 Blatchington Hill. And we have 2 trees for this application. Councillor Olivia Honeyman.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I was a bit confused as to why this application's been brought up now, because the Italian plum can't be pruned until midsummer due to the risk of infection of silver leaf disease. So I was confused, but then I presume we've looked it up before this meeting, see that you've got a 2-year window once planning permission's been approved, and the red horse chestnut doesn't need to be done till late winter, early spring. So just a reminder to maybe the people who are doing this. So obviously they're just doing it in advance so that they can do it when they need to, but yeah, obviously this needs pruning.
Good point, that councillor. Well done.
Any other comments? So we have a proposal to support this application, but with a reminder of the cutting season, pruning season for especially the Italian plum tree. Does that find a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Lord. All those in favour of supporting this? Thank you. TW/25/0121/TPO is only for noting because this is a town council's application. So all noted.
Yep.
Thank you very much. So we move on to agenda item 5, Lewis local plan. So this is for the committee to consider Seaford Town Council's public engagement in Lewis District Council's Lewis local plan consultation. I'll pass over to you.
I haven't got much more to add, only that I've been taking part in the Lewis District Council steering groups with other clerks in the area, obviously. And another thing that I just wanted to pass on is that the survey for the consultation, it has been hugely simplified. Obviously last time it was about 170 something questions. So they did sort of do a very quick whiz through it with us, and it's been broken down and should be a lot easier for us and members of the public to complete that. So that's just another thing I wanted to pass on to you all. Other than that, you'll see that I've sort of suggested that we look at this in sections so that we can invite members of the public to come and share with us their views, and then at the end, by the end of each week where we've got a session, I would then try and collate what I've got and share that with you already, so that you're already getting, you know, the chapter, you know, the site is the chapter, and then you've got the comments that I've pulled together, and then that means by the time it comes round to considering the draft, the final draft on the 12th, you've seen quite a lot of it, and then it's about just bringing it all together and any other comments on the night we want to tweak. So just a way of trying to sort of proactively reach out to the public, but also take this in bite-sized chunks for ourselves as well. Yeah.
I think for each of us, that's absolutely brilliant, Andy, because we have people come in, they've been waiting like for 2 hours for their say, and eventually it's almost like a guillotine time of doing out, and we're tired as well. I think doing it in small sections or chapters is an absolutely brilliant idea. And all avenues can be explored in detail because we just look at one small part of it rather than the whole. So I think it's absolutely brilliant idea. Well done.
Yes.
Any other comments? Councillor Richard Tallyman?
On the town council sessions, I'm assuming there's going to be an officer from the district council. Well, that's a shame because it's their scheme, and I think that would be good for the consultation if someone was available on each of the sessions.
So with the sessions, sorry through you, Chair, with the sessions that we're hosting, it's very much an opportunity for us to speak to. It's for the community to give us views that they want us to put into our response. So there won't be anyone from Lewis District Council there to answer any sort of technical questions. It's more about the public being able to pass on, because the public will be also submitting their own comments, but it was almost similar to what we did last year, but we're putting a bit more into
But there was district council officers there.
So that's separate. So Lewis District Council will be holding its own session at Downs, and they'll be hosting that, and they will have councillors and officers there from Lewis District Council. But for the ones that we're hosting, they won't be in attendance.
Okay. That's very, very good idea.
Councillor Buchanan?
Do you know when the Lewis one at the Downs is going to take place yet?
I'm waiting for them to confirm the date. I could, if I looked it up, it might not be confirmed, so I think it would be silly if I put it out there. But it's in January, that's all I know. And I'm pretty sure it's a Friday evening from the last I saw. Because they were running out of dates.
Where will that be publicised?
They will put it out on their website, and then we will make sure we share that as well.
Any other comments? No, I just want to thank Isabel for getting this all together and organising it. Because obviously last time we had all the comments for everything all together, and some of the smaller ones where only one person spoke up, we kind of, by the time we've heard everything else, kind of missed. So this is nice to put it down into chunks. And it will get, and we'll be able to think about it a little bit more rather than trying to make that decision on the night. So
I think also as well for you, Chair, it's just a good way of us being able to encourage the public to submit their own comments as well. So
yeah,
because I think last time as well, some people sent us their comments and felt that was done. You know, that was that done. When actually we need to be encouraging them to also submit them so that it's sort of strength in numbers. So, but we having these bite-sized sessions will help with getting that message out.
Brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Any other comments on this? No. So the recommendations are to note the details of Lewis local plan consultation and to agree for officers to deliver the following public engagement sessions on the Lewis local plan consultation, which will be the 15th of January, Planning and Highways Committee meeting to welcome public views on the spatial strategy policies. 21st of January, hold a public engagement session about the Chinkton Field site allocation. 26th of January, hold a public engagement session about the St John's School site allocation. 2nd of February, hold a public engagement session about the Sutton Place and Talon Parade site allocations. And the 12th of February will be our next Planning and Highways Committee meeting to finalise Seaford Town Council's response. So can I have a proposer for those? Councillor Liv Honeyman and a seconder. Councillor Imogen Taylor, and all those in favour? Thank you very much. We'll move on to agenda item 6, which is the update report. So notify the committee of decisions taken by the planning authority on planning applications previously considered by the committee and any for information updates on public highways. So this is 2 notes.
Yep.
If there's no comments on this, no. I would just like to say that although we objected to one that Lewis approved, they looked at our objections, they made the changes to their plan, and actually then it wouldn't have gone again, we wouldn't have objected to it if that was what was in front of us on the night, so it's good to see.
Have to read what we say.
Yes, we like those ones.
We do.
So, all those in favour of noting the contents of the report? Thank you very much. And that brings us to the end of our meeting at 19:28. Thank you very much for coming, everyone.
Thank you.